Yes, hello, how are you? Welcome, Coffee with Curmudgeons, here on the NuzBox.
That's right.
Friday, April 21st, 2017. I was going to do that, and then I didn't. And I'm here with Rock Hudson.
Hello, I'm Rock. How are you?
No, that's Jason Allen.
Yeah.
Jason Allen.
See, I can't even have a cool name like Rock, you know?
I know. May he rest in peace.
I mean, with a name like Rock, you're going to get tons of free stuff because you just got that cool name, right? So you walk into a deli and say, hey, there's Rock, want a sandwich? And you're like, yeah, I'll take a sandwich.
First thing you think of is like, if I, had a name like Rock Hudson, I get tons of free stuff.
That's, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a kind of a guy that's, out there looking for the opportunities, right? So if I'm walking into some place and someone says, hey, Rock, that is a fabulous name. Why don't you have a donut? I'm going to say thank you.
Exactly.
That's what I want to do.
That was, we can talk about that later. That was actually, I watched a Rock Hudson movie from the 70s. It's one of the new Mystery Science Theaters.
Nice. I got to catch that. I haven't caught it any of them
We
yet.
can talk about it a little bit
later.
I'll pull it up.
They're coming to, hello.
They are.
They're coming to Portland. What, Revolution Hall?
Yes. That would be not the current... there was different people and they split off into different places. And so, Rev Hall, when is that? We should pull that up because I do have some events.
May something.
Yeah, it's next month. It is Dr. Forrester, the original Dr. Forrester, and TV's Frank, who I follow on Facebook. He's a pretty funny and very political guy. His politics are...
Wow.
Yeah, he's a very turning left kind of a guy.
Yeah, well.
So,
all right.
But I always say he was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Was TV's Frank. That lineup with him and Forrester. I like those guys.
Yeah, when I saw the ad for Revolution Hall, I was kind of intrigued because I always wonder, like, when the TV scripted comedians, how well they translate to up on the stage, fly by the seat of your pants.
Oh yeah.
Bam, bam, bam. Because I know some like actors or comedians, they are great up on stage when it's rehearsed and they have a set that's scripted, but some are just really great on the fly. I mean, they're just total spontaneous, total improv. So I was wondering how that kind of coordinates with the guys from Mystery Science Theater, because they always had that sort of vibe that they could just snap at whatever, any pop culture reference, bam, they're just boop.
But the thing I learned about that was that they actually did, when they did the show, they would go through the movie review, and they would script it out and teleprompt it. Because, I mean, if you're doing a TV show and stuff, but they would improvise, they'd workshop the movie, and then they'd pick the best jokes, and apparently they'd prompt
run
it.
with it.
Yeah. But I don't know if the live show, if they do it. Well, one of the fun things I did in my life, fond memories, is there was a guy...
Doc's fond memories.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, we need like a little thing here. There was an event, a person who was a social media podcaster, all that, and at the Hawthorne Theater would do... because now they're called, because Mystery Science Theater, they're called riffing, like Riff Tracks is the Mike Nelson one, and then the Cinematic Titanic was the Joel thing before he revived Mystery Science Theater.
Gotcha.
I can't remember what this one was called, but I was invited to do a Mystery Science Theater riff a bad movie.
Yeah.
And it was a Mark Hamill movie.
Ooh.
That wasn't Star Wars. It was pretty bad.
The only movies I remember Mark Hamill in was, besides Star Wars, is The Big Red One.
No, this was not. It was a B Mark Hamill movie.
Big Red B movie?
Yeah. I can't remember. He might have been a race car driver or something. I have no idea. And because I like Mystery Science Theater, I was prepared. We actually did. We didn't script it.
Yeah.
But we did do a rehearsal where we got to watch
get the feel of it
show once and kind of make some mental notes. Yeah. And so I for the intermission I ended up bringing the Darth Vader helmet and some lightsabers, and we made a lot of fun of like Luke being in this movie, something like that.
You got to go there. I mean,
Yeah.
with Hamill.
Yeah. So that was that. There's been a lot of just adjusting my camera. Would you just do this live, man?
It's all just live.
You know,
This is
after
live.
Wednesday. So Wednesday is a big day because we do this and then we do this political
Yeah.
show. So it's like a full morning, like to early afternoon of
It's a robust morning.
of live.
Yes.
And we were live. Turning Left was live this week. So we worked out the bugs.
It was.
So that was good.
Yeah. And I came up with some ideas too from that because I've been having trouble switching from one subject to another because usually when it's
Here? Imagine that.
No, but usually when it's radio, you can break it up into segments by you take your break or whatever, right? And so I just like when I try to go from one thing to the other and there's no break, it's just so I kind of stumble a bit. No. I got to work on my segues. So I'm creating content as we speak. What you're seeing right here is just a facsimile of me, just a clone. I cloned myself out for this. And I'm now really busily putting together some funky content to act as a break in between the segments.
You're talking about Turning Left, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And one of my ideas, and I'm going to see how this flies over here. So if you're watching right now and you like the sound of what I'm about ready to say, get on, give us a call, or post to us on Facebook or however, and tell us what you think. Here's my idea, okay? What I'm thinking of is a short break, like a 1 minute long thing of great moments or great quotes in Trumpian history.
Oh, wow.
And what I want to do, and this is what I want to do, I want to put you in a smoking jacket.
Oh, my God.
Like,
Me?
yes. Like it's
I'm part of this now?
full-on masterpiece theater, right? And I want you to be sitting there, and you maybe have a pipe or something, and then get into the real ritzy, Buckley sort of voice, oh, shit, and just to say totally wacky Trump quotes, stuff he's actually said. I don't know.
We could workshop it here.
Yeah.
Because I've always promised to look up the
I'm just spitballing.
the quotes.
Right.
This is we got so much to review. A lot has happened
Yes.
in the last 7 days. That's from your show.
The last 7 days.
But one thing,
Okay.
some of it's sad, but one thing that today is the 1 year anniversary, if you will.
Okay.
A year ago today,
Yeah.
we found out that Prince had died.
Has it really been 1 year
It has
already?
been 1 year
Holy
today.
cow.
I know.
Doesn't seem like a year's gone by that quickly.
No.
Seems like maybe...
Which is exactly what curmudgeons would say.
Right.
I can't
believe it's gone this far. It
only
seems like weeks.
It doesn't seem like it's just was yesterday that
Right.
we were listening to Little Red Corvette.
Right. Yeah. Time for me to break out the raspberry beret out of the closet,
Shout out to all our fans at the Royalton Assisted Living.
Yeah,
This
hey.
is for you.
Happy Friday. Save a Jell-O cup for me, okay? I'll be by later. Well,
Yeah.
Little known Jason fact number
Oh,
437, you right? When I used to live out in Forest Grove for a while, I was a life enrichment coordinator for an assisted living place, right?
Life enrichment coordinator.
It was great, yeah.
That doesn't sound. It's. I'm sorry.
if you want-
It's
And life enrichment, you're
No,
right?
it's
not
like
activities director, it's life enrichment, right?
assisted living is. It's kind of a. It's not well branded.
No,
You don't.
it's God's waiting room, right? Because you're on your way out, and they
is
know it.
God's
The people working
waiting
there,
room.
it is. People, know it. The med, the nurse people know it. Everyone knows
the
it.
people there know it. Unfortunately,
Right,
they
see,
do actually.
It's like God's waiting room, or maybe God/DMV, because your number's going to come up eventually. But in the meantime, you're just waiting, right?
Take a number out of the thing.
Right, but. It's 437, right? Jason thing. You used to, life enrichment. Okay. If you want free food and the free hookups, be a life enrichment coordinator.
Wait.
Yes, because you walk by.
I don't like how you use the phrase hookups and assisted living. All
Well,
in
you
the
like
same,
food hookups, not like.
Hey, baby.
Casanova. Although they could probably teach me a thing or two.
Oh.
But no, they're always like, hey, Jason, come over here. You want my Jell-O?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I'm a big raspberry Jell-O fan,
Oh, boy.
If not, lime sounds good,
Oh, lime Jell-O.
Yeah.
Jell-O's evil. I hate Jell-O.
It's one of those. What is it? Is it a solid? Is it a fruity thing?
It's not vegan.
What is it?
It's
a gelatin. But
yeah, it's glue. It's the hoof bone. It's that connectivity. It's the stuff that comes out of the hoofs and the bones and stuff. That's what gelatin is.
Yeah, no more Jell-O for me then. I can't. Since hearing that, I'm not having hoof stuff.
It's not vegan.
Hoof and mouth disease.
Not vegetarian, technically. You'd think. Like, you'll say, oh, it's a condiment.
But if it's coming from an animal in the hoof, I can understand.
Well, okay. But you can. There's always a plant substitute. Hi, welcome to Vegan Hour. I'm Doc Normal.
Hi, I'm Mr.
Little
Patchouli.
known Doc Normal fact. I've been a vegan for about 4 years now.
And I get some questions about that.
Yeah, but here's for Jell-O.
Yes.
Tapioca. Tapioca is a substitute.
Yeah, okay.
It's like
Is that like a rice pudding kind of tapioca?
I can't remember what it is. I want to say it's a root or something. I'm totally wrong, not up on my tapioca. But that's what they replace a lot of that stuff with because it's a sticky, gluey plant-like substance. So anywhere you would have gelatin,
gotcha.
you would replace it.
I like a good tapioca.
Yeah.
I can do that.
When you're a vegan, you surprisingly find out odd places they put animal products in.
Oh, I bet stuff that when you're not a vegan, you just don't question it, right? It's just thrown on your plate and you just throw it down.
Yeah.
And then years later, you find out it's hoof parts, and that changes the whole landscape.
Like, I'll tell you one that blows my mind. In bread, there's an enzyme. L-cysteine. I don't know how you pronounce this.
I don't like how this is going.
No, it's called L-cysteine.
Okay.
It
sounds Italian.
Well, here it is right here. I'll pull it right up. And the magic of...
Right.
I thought I was getting the Wikipedia. Sorry about that.
Live interactive radio. You can... Video, actually.
Yeah.
I'll just use them. Oh, my God.
Here it is right here. So here's your thing. There it is. It's an amino acid.
Ah.
You got a little OH over there, little HS, little NH2.
Sounds like the bird flu, dude.
I haven't studied chemistry since I don't know, high school or undergrad. I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, it is. It's an amino acid, and they stick this in bread sometimes. And it comes from. Fur and hair. How about that? I was going to say industrial sources, dietary sources, industrial sources. Although classified as a non-essential amino acid, in rare cases, may be essential for infants and the elderly.
Wow.
Hence, animal sources, meat, eggs, dairy, plant sources. I guess you could get it from plant, but in most cases, it's something to stay away from.
Wow.
Synthetically produced amino acid is compliant with Jewish kosher and Muslim halal laws. Mm-hmm. That's a little secret that vegetarians and vegans have.
Yeah.
It's not,
did not know that.
Kosher involves meat and things like that too.
Right.
But in many cases, like in halal and in kosher, you can't mix certain things. So if you're getting like bread, it's going to be like not have animal stuff in it or dairy, right. That whole thing. So sometimes you can follow along with the like halal places and stuff. You can get lots of, they've been, people that think vegetarianism is weird and crazy and new in Portland. It's been around for centuries and centuries, folks.
Right.
In other cultures and religions and that sort of thing. So,
interesting. This is taking on a sort of Soylent Green aspect.
Oh.
Guess what's in bread?
See, you just mentioned that, and it's like, when was I think I watched that on Netflix a couple years ago. It's like always, a good apocalyptic Heston movie is always...
The Omega Man.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorites, Omega Man. The original Planet of the Apes. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Even even when he's Moses, he's up there and they get the big
Ben-Hur. We talked about Ben-Hur.
That was like the Roman version of Fast and Furious, right?
It was.
Yeah, because you're cruising around,
You've been thinking of that joke since Easter, since we talked about it.
I will neither confirm nor deny that there may have been a little...
It is. It was
foreshadowing.
Like fast and that would. We're always pitching movie ideas.
Oh.
That's how we revive that whole epic Roman chariot. I mean, they did it a few years ago with the Gladiator. Remember?
Right.
I think was that Ridley Scott or something?
Yep, Ridley Scott, and it starred Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. It didn't. It was alright. It didn't.
Yeah.
But we could revive that franchise.
We could.
Like, what are they? Fast and Furious 7, 8. Where are we at now? There's a new one, right?
Yeah, the 8.
8. Okay.
Something. Fate of the Furious 8.
Fate of the Furious. Yeah. We could come up with Chariot of the Furious or something, and just it's all gladiators, Roman.
Yeah.
Guys and gals in togas.
Right.
Right. It's all Roman, and it always ends in big, long chariot chases and chariots on fire, and
right.
That's a whole different movie.
The Rock is snapping his whip. Everything, everyone up in the stands is going nuts. I like it.
Yeah.
Or we could move ahead in time a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
What if we did a medieval jousting sort of Fast and Furious?
Oh yeah.
They're in there in their lances, the big lances and stuff, and they're
right.
running around, maybe the Rock's in his little suit, he lifts up his mask and says like the tagline, and that's cool.
It's only a flesh wound. Come back here. Come back. I'll fight you. I'll bite your head off.
Punch your kneecaps. Monty Python, right?
I actually had that up the other day.
Nice. Or we can move it even more in the future. You ready for this? Well, I'm thinking like Victorian. They're in like one of those handsome cabs, I say you must die. Next thing you know, they're like, monocles are going all over the place, and they're like,
you know what?
No,
you're just now pitching Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 1 and Part 2, right? I mean, it's just like pretty much like.
No wonder it sounded.
Yeah.
No wonder it sounded, like it's been there before.
This idea. We have a Western and a sheriff, and the guy's black,
but it's Blazing Saddles. I got it. Let's call that.
Yeah.
But I do like the Roman one though, in the chariots. The like Ben-Hur, man, that could be good.
Yeah,
that could happen.
There's not enough. Those movies kind of went out with like the '60s. It just kind of like
Cecil B. DeMille, right?
Those big MGM, and there was no CGI or anything. It was actually like they'd build the facade on the back lot of the studio.
And there was no pretense. There was nothing at the bottom at the end of the movie that said no horses were harmed in this. In the bottom, there's a huge asterisk paragraph footnote that says there was a crap ton of animals that were hurt during this movie, right? There are whole towns that went down because of this movie.
So. Yeah, as you bring up that, vegan people don't like tripwires or whatever. Ugh. Horrible, but they like when you see this like a big crane shot scene, it's like okay everybody, and then like all those people, like hundreds of people in the shot, and they're all people. Like if you see that in a movie today, those are little
computer generated.
Yeah, they're little Weta made like widget orcs or whatever, and someone's Adobe.
That's what we need around here. We need a couple widget orcs.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Exactly. Yeah. Widgetorcs.com.
You're always thinking of stuff's always snapping, right?
Where do we start? I mean, there's so much. There's all this news. There's bad news, but good news.
Yeah.
There was this thing. Well, I can talk about it later. But I was looking at Trump's tweets. So there was a shooting in Paris. On the Champs-Élysées. Been there. It's a big kind of boulevard of the victory, whatever.
The Champs-Élysées.
It's not. Yeah. No. But anyway,
by the Arc de Triomphe.
What happened is like a few police officers got shot.
Yeah.
And now Trump. The big top headline is Trump predicts deadly Paris shooting will have big effect on key French election. Isn't that odd how that happens?
Yes, isn't it though that something like that? Now we're not conspiracy theory guys all over, so don't oh my god,
we're not.
Are they going to talk about guys not landing on the moon now? No, we're not going there. But there are some times where it's synchronicity, right? And you question it a little bit, like, wow, out of all the times that happen, it just happens this time, right? So it's interesting.
Yeah, and Le Pen's doing all right in the polls.
Yeah,
so
I think she's going to take it.
Really?
I do.
That's your prediction?
My prediction, I think it's going to be a squeaker.
Wow.
But I think, Trump, I think he's right on this one because of
the bump.
Yep. It's the October surprise, man. And I think a lot of people are going to have that knee-jerk reaction like, oh, I knew she was right all along, right? Or, I'm not so sure, but since this happened, I better, the better safe than sorry, whatever. I don't know.
So interestingly, Trump, president. By the way, if you've been asleep, if you've just come out of your coma,
right?
Remember Donald Trump, that hotel guy, and the steaks and the wine,
the apprentice,
you're fired.
Yeah.
He's president now. So just update for our assisted living folks. But last time I woke up, it was that guy from Bedtime for Bonzo. Now,
right?
Anyway,
the guy from Death Valley days,
So we had the Brexit.
Yeah,
preceded that.
Yep.
And then Trump.
And Trump. Yep.
And now we've got the French elections, which are like right. It's a runoff, so it's like coming up here end of the month, or early May. We looked this up a while ago.
Right.
But in the Netherlands, we had Geert Wilders, I believe, and he was the crazy pants guy with the hair.
Right.
And he lost.
He did.
He lost. So
he did. So I don't know.
It's kind of a grab.
But she's got a lot of traction over there, and I just I since old what was that? Still Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
Ever since he took office there, I've been a little cynical, you know. So I would not be surprised. I guess let me put it like that. I would not be surprised if Marine Le Pen took home.
Right. I mean, I think in other times you would think, that's not going to happen.
Sanity will prevail.
Right. But, maybe you don't really like the Democratic candidate, but we'll have our first woman president.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Whoops. Not so much.
Hey, let's elect the reality TV guy.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Obama to hold his first public event of his post-presidency.
In Chicago, right?
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
Former President Barack Obama will speak Monday in Chicago to young community leaders.
There you
go. Speaking of public speaking, Berkeley flip-flop. Conservative speakers are under fire on college campuses, and critics say schools are. But this is about the Ann Coulter, University of California at Berkeley. And they were. The question was, what's going on here? So Berkeley is re-inviting her.
Yes.
And then a lawsuit may be pending. What the heck is going on with it? She's always... Yeah, okay. Can I just say, just Ann Coulter. Ugh. I'm telling you, like in the news, she's just like, oh. Yeah. Although I've heard that she's pretty good gives a pretty good speech, but I don't know. Never been to speeches. But, when she comes on TV and does just like, oh my gosh. And then she was dating someone too.
Yeah.
There's a rumor. Who was that?
Some actor. I can't remember.
Alec Baldwin.
Right. Oh, can you imagine that? Oh, wow.
No, they denied it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but she's one of those pundits that the more famous she's become, the
Jimmy
more
Walker.
books.
Okay, this is so curmudgeonly. She
Good Times?
From Good Times, JJ Dynamite, Jimmy Walker. There's you know what? There was even a picture. Here we go. And, I don't know. I'm just saying, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I don't know. There you go.
That's photoshopped. It has to be, right?
I don't. That's, yeah.
It's got to be photoshopped.
I don't know.
It looks photoshopped.
They denied it.
Well, yeah.
It's JJ. But, how old is JJ, though? We were at TV Land together. JJ, I don't know, man.
Yeah. That's great. I hope it is true, because that does give me a little hope for the future of mankind. When J.J. Walker is with does.
JJ, I think we should put Hillary in prison. Dynamite!
Dynamite!
I mean, that would just be his response to the relationship, right? It would be like...
Right. That would be... Oh, wow. That would be great.
There's always... I think this show, we're always going to have a tie-in to 70s comedies.
Oh, sure.
Like Wednesday, we talked about Rerun.
Yeah.
Hey. No,
that's our wheelhouse, right?
No, it's hey. It's not hey is Fat Albert.
Oh.
Hey.
It's Fat Albert, right?
Right. And then the other one is Good Times. But
gotcha.
Anyway, and then... But yeah,
can you imagine J.J. Walker? Right, he's taking Ann Coulter home to meet the family in Good Times. You know, there's Florida sitting there, yeah, and then husband James, hey Florida baby, and then here comes J.J. you pig, the sister.
He's not 69.
I'd like to have you to meet my date, Ann Coulter.
Yeah, he's 69. That works out. He's 69.
Wow. Good for you, J.J. Walker.
Well, I mean, I just yeah.
Yeah, no.
69 years old. I don't know what in the heck he's been doing. Later career. Let's look at...
Yeah, what is
Turns out
JJ?
He's the writer on the Tucker Carlson show.
Right.
Personal life... this is good. Okay. Personal life and political views. This, according to Wikipedia.
Okay.
Jason, according to appearance on the Wendy Williams show on June 27th, 2012...
Okay.
Not to be confused by the Wendy O. Williams show, I would say.
The Plasmatics?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, when you say Wendy
that
Williams...
That would be an even better show, though.
Yeah,
she's got her mohawk and everything. She's throwing stuff at the cameras. That'd be pretty cool.
Walker stated he has never been married nor fathered children. Walker appeared on the O'Reilly Factor. I mean, come on. He stated that he did not vote for Barack Obama in an interview on CNN. Walker described himself as politically realistic independent. And he opposed affirmative action. So, I mean, I'm kind of thinking Walker described his political beliefs at length in his autobiography, Dynamite. Good Times.
You know that had to happen.
Our Times, a memoir.
Yeah.
He's a logicist. He holds typical conservative positions on the death penalty, capitalism. He voted for Ronald Reagan. So, there you go. He's dating
Walker.
Ann Coulter. Actually, allegedly dating Ann Coulter. So, I mean, it would, because you remember you had the Carville
Mary Matlin
thing, right? Carville, the goofball, that guy.
The Raging Cajun, right?
Raging Cajun.
Yeah.
Right? Democratic strategist. Matlin's a Republican strategist. They're married.
Yeah.
They had kids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you're always like, how does that conversation work, But JJ and Ann would probably be all right together.
Yeah,
they wouldn't.
Judging from the Wikipedia,
have a screaming match about their politics. She'd be like, "Yeah, I think they should repeal the public funding of schools and education," and JJ's answer would be Dynamite.
Build the wall. Dynamite.
That would just be like his answer.
Make America great,
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Exactly.
Right. Huh. That is interesting. I don't know. That kind of sets everything of like an imbalance, though. J.J. Walker and Ann Coulter. I'm gonna have to factor that into the equation.
Factor it into your O'Reilly factor.
Speaking of O'Reilly,
yeah, on Wednesday, when we were live on the show, there was the O'Reilly,
the
thing
real
going
factor,
down. And then when we did Turning Left, breaking news, I think we put it on there.
Yep,
he was fired. So that's kind of what we were predicting.
Well, they're not saying fired; they're just saying his exit, right? And to the tune of $25 million. Holy moly!
Mr. O'Reilly is.
Don't feel sad for him.
What was that? What is that phrase that they say when they fire you? Pursuing other opportunities. That's it.
Right.
So the question is, what does he do now? For example, one of the things that's thrown out there is the Glenn Beck model. Right?
I was about to say that he's going to start his own media, online media. That could happen.
Hey, Bill, we probably don't share politics or much of anything together.
Yeah.
You were an anchor in Portland for a little while on KATU. Give us a call. We'll help you with your online.
We'll do lunch. In fact, we'll do lunch at the assisted living place, and I'll be more than happy. You can have my Jell-O.
I know. This was like his sponsors, and I'm like, who are the sponsors that are pulling out of the,
I saw a list of them last night.
Geritol? No.
Geritol was the one, and Biggie's pulled out. Mercedes-Benz, Mitsubishi.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense,
right? A lot of big pharma companies,
Big Pharma?
Big Pharma.
They like Democrats, though. I don't
know. Pfizer was one of them that pulled out. Yeah. I guess it was multi-million,
I mean,
Yeah, I told my wife, I showed her the list because it was like a visual, And
of course, I said, here.
Right. And I said, this is the reason Bill O'Reilly is gone from Fox News.
No, it has nothing to do. Look, had that not happened, he would still be there. I mean, that's the I think.
Let me throw this caveat in there, okay?
Yeah.
I know
where you're going with this, too.
I think had Rupert Murdoch been 10 years younger, I think he would have held firm, because evidently he held firm on this. And I think if he was more in the loop, because he's kind of semi-retired now. He's an older gentleman.
Did he dating or married Jerry Hall?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Come on, man. Aren't you up on your
TMZ?
No,
dude, I'm still discombobulated by the J.J. Walker and Coulter thing, dude. That's going to be a huge fog for the rest of the show for me.
Believe me, the Rupert Murdoch Jerry Hall is about right in there with the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's like 6 degrees of Mick Jagger, right? Holy cow.
Some degrees. We don't know what, though.
Right. 3rd degree.
Well, his sons are running the show now.
Right.
And they're taking it in a new direction. And
isn't that what they always say, though? I saw an article about this yesterday. And I happen to actually agree with it.
They're married. Wedding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were married. I knew it
Jerry Hall Murdoch?
Yeah.
Oh.
There they are.
Little hyphen.
There they are.
Let's see them together.
Oh, look at,
wow.
I like it when they have one of these, like, and they got the inset.
Wow.
Of Mick Jagger.
Right. Mick's photobombing him right there, man.
Exactly. So
hopefully he can catch the bouquet,
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I wonder if Ann Coulter and Jimmy J.J. Walker were guests.
Oh, what sort of wedding reception would that be? That would be awesome, man. If I want to sit at the same table as mom and dad, Florida and James, I want to sit at their table. Mm-hmm. And remember, Janet Jackson's now all grown up.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, she played the neighbor child.
She, the rumor is... bad news, Janet Jackson. She had a medical thing. There was a baby, and she's like 50 or something like that, I want to say. I mean, can you believe that, right? Divorce, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
50, that's on the outer cusp of childbearing years.
This is the headlines. The headlines are all, let's just go TMZ, right? Let's,
sure. It's Friday. Let's go full on TMZ, right?
Ex-husband with some almana. This is new. This broke this a week or two ago.
Okay.
I think they were married for quite some time. So there you go. Mm-hmm. The news you can use. Where were we?
That's our next tagline.
Berkeley.
News you can use.
Yep. Google. What else? French election.
Did you hear about the Yale psychology sort of council thing?
No.
Yeah. Here, let me pull this up.
Are we gonna pull it up and hopefully see if this works?
Yeah, we'll see if it works.
Nope. I got a screen. I've got a screen. Whoa! There's sex on your screen. That's awesome.
That's from a long time ago. There's my Facebook. Sure.
Yep.
Anyway,
do I need to refresh? I don't know how to refresh.
Anyways, it says here.
Do I need to stop and restart?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah. So the annoying thing about the app we're using, which is casting his Android device into the thing, is like I'm watching him type a private message.
No, I'm not.
No, he's not. He's not. But I'm watching you type, like, we're live now.
Right.
So I can. How about if I do this? Bring it back up, and then you have to cast it back, I guess.
Gotcha. Oh, me?
Can you do that? Yeah.
Sure, I can do that.
This is brand new. We tested this out on Wednesday.
We're still baiting it, right?
Yeah, but what's weird is it's just like, I don't know. I have to look into this. We just want to pull it up and pull up his screen, but it doesn't do that. Hey, there we go. And now you're live.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got...
Let me shoot over to here. This is from The Independent.
The Independent.
Yes, Ed.
The Independent.
I love this.
That's in the UK.
Donald Trump has dangerous mental illness, says psychiatry experts at Yale conference. Mental health experts say president is paranoid and delusional.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yale, so...
This is old. I remember this was this. They've brought this up, or is this a new?
Looking for the byline.
5 hours ago. Yeah.
5 hours ago. Yeah.
So there, something about this. This is a very interesting thing, and I'm not. I think it's called some sort of rule, and this violates that rule.
Yeah, they're not supposed to. Usually, it's a very.
Psychologists, the doctors, the industry, that industry is not supposed to go on television
and publicly diagnose
people.
Right.
And do you know where this happened? When this happened in politics? Barry Goldwater.
Oh, okay. 64, right?
Yes.
Yes.
In the 64, when Barry Goldwater ran as a Republican, the people came out and said, well, he's crazy. And, and of course he was like a hardliner, so he was going to nuke everyone. And I don't know what all. Very conservative. Probably very tame by today's standards.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like... Anyway, so after that...
Goldwater would be Hillary nowadays.
Yeah, I think he legally went after... I mean, he was like was he a senator or a representative? He was in Congress. And he was
Goldwater?
Yeah.
I think he was senator from Arizona.
I think he was, yeah. Arizona senator. I believe that's correct. And he was running for president. And so after the election, and of course he didn't win, I think he legally went after some of these folks.
Yeah.
So you can't go on TV or media and call someone crazy,
right?
Or in print. And so after that, their kind of standards and practices were, we don't go do this. Yeah. Now, in the era of Trump, they're doing it again.
Right. They feel it's a moral imperative that they share their, because we need to warn people or whatever. And you're right. And, everyone who's seen the show or whatever knows I'm not a huge Trump guy. But still,
really,
right? Yeah, well, yeah, go figure, right? But you still can't
I only play a white racist on TV,
right?
As we found out,
it was an acting gig, all right.
As we literally found out,
right?
For real. If you haven't watched,
yeah.
He was on Portlandia.
My greatest hit.
He was we showed the video hanging out with
dogs and Fred Armisen. Yeah.
Anyway,
cool,
Dobermans. I love that.
Huge Doberman. Yeah. Huge. Biggest Doberman I've ever seen in my life.
I love that. Hello.
He's trained, right? Really?
Exactly.
He's not going to, because he was looking at me like I was lunch, right?
Yeah.
But he was nice enough, but, I mean, I'm sure he's a very happy dog, very well adjusted. But they have, like, them Rottweilers and German Shepherds, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're all, when you look at them, even when they're all happy and their tails wagging, you're not completely sure,
Yeah,
they're very sharp.
Yeah, I was. So it took me a while to get into the dog thing and bond with dogs.
Yeah.
And then I did, and
there's
an anniversary there too, and this year, which kind of sucks because briefly had a dog that I was attached to.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Had to go away.
Right.
She's cancer, all this. Hey, happy
right.
Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody.
But anyway,
yeah.
But when I was a little kid, I went over to a friend's house, and then we somehow is something about the neighbors, like kids do baseball. The neighbors go. Well, I think it's the playing catch in the backyard.
Sucker flies over the fence,
Flies over the fence.
How dare you? And then curmudgeons like us yell out the window, "You put your ball in my yard."
No one's home. No one's home.
Okay.
It's just like, oh, yeah, we'll just go over the fence to get the ball. Football, playing catch. Okay.
Except,
real good. Sounds
except
good.
somebody was home, right? And I'm not talking human.
The Doberman pitcher in the backyard who's the guard dog.
This was 80s, wasn't it? Like when people got Dobermans because of Magnum PI?
No, this was a little bit earlier than that. But
gotcha.
I was kind of a fat kid, and so
welcome to the club.
and so I did the best I could in the other chubby husky. They called it
husky and a big bone. You're husky.
Yeah, when your mom would take you to Kmart to buy you jeans.
Right, the Roughskins, right? So
the Roughskins, exactly. Yeah. I don't even remember those called the Roughskins.
Toughskins or Roughskins?
Something.
Yeah.
I think Toughskins were the jeans, and Roughskins, well, that's something else. I take it later.
That comes on our adult show tonight at 11.
Yeah, I think you could go down to the Tenderloin down there in San Francisco and look that up. But anyway,
right.
Yeah, and so we're there, and everything's quiet. Oh, here's the ball, and all of a sudden you hear like that Chewbacca growl, like the and you're like, the hell is that?
Right.
Turn around, and there's a giant Doberman just meat, like little.
Was everything in slow motion?
Oh my god! It was like little pudgy goodness in rough skin jeans, right? It's like
tasty morsel,
Oh, he's really packing in that butt in those husky jeans. Just one bite, I'll rip those jeans off, dude. I have never done they have the military, like those join the army, get in the army, do it now, and then you see the guys climbing up the
be all you can be,
and they do the obstacle course,
right? And they're scaling the walls and repelling, down,
right. And then you have like the sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. It's like, Vincent D'Onofrio's trying to get over the thing. What's wrong with you?
Right.
Pile, that's what I'm calling, and all that stuff. Dude, at that moment, an army recruiter could have recruited me, the fat kid, because it was like I was being chased.
We want him.
Because you've never, ever since that day seen me run and scale a tall fence in 2 jumps. I didn't even know I could do it.
You were Superman then, dude. Scaling in a single bound, dude.
I did. I really did. Because if I hadn't have done that, shit would... Sorry. We try to keep it clean here. Stuff would have gone down, man. It would have been bad. It would have been...
Would have been like the Sandlot.
This dog really was like all I saw was a dog running, teeth
foam
open,
at the mouth, he's eyes bulging. Yeah.
It was like, holy, I'm going to die. And I literally just jumped, we got to get out of here. And then kind of like the fat butt in the fat husky jeans.
Yeah, you're just trying to get over, but you're on top and you're teetering at the very top. Well, it's gonna.
But the dog's down there like jumping, like how dogs can jump and like trying to grab.
The forepaws, they're trying to get you back down.
And that was back then too, where you didn't hem the bottom, so your cuffs are rolled up.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Which then becomes a fashion statement later, Madonna or whatever.
Or any rockabilly sort of thing.
Yeah. But the cuffs are rolled up, and the dog's like just getting the cuff. It's just like, I know I can get that with and all I need to do is get it, and I'm pulling him down.
Right.
So it was like it could have been a scene out of like
the
Stand
Sandlot.
By Me or
the
something.
Sandlot. Remember that?
The Sandlot.
Yeah, you ever seen the movie Sandlot?
I don't.
Yeah, guy hits the ball. The kid hits the ball over the fence. He goes in there, and there's a huge mastiff, right?
Named
Hercules. And it's the same thing. The kid's got to outrun the dog to get back to the fence and jump it because the dog is, running full bore towards him. Yeah. And he gets over. It's Benny the Jet Rodriguez, so he's a fast kid. He's getting over. But it's kind of reminds me of that.
I know. My actual true childhood story sounds like a scene from a Hollywood movie, like literally, and that's exactly the way it played out.
Yeah.
But of course, I played Little League Baseball back then in the 70s too. So pretty much Bad News Bears was a documentary for me.
I can identify with Bad News Bears too. I was on a really the team was okay. I wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
It was horrible.
Me too.
And I got a quick story. One of my older brothers, right, who was pretty good at baseball.
Yeah.
He came to one of the games, and there's like, oh man, the second base umpire didn't show up. And can you do it? My brother's like, yeah, I'll do it. Not a problem, And so I'm on first base.
Ooh.
And they're like, you got to go steal second.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Me, like a fat kid running for second.
Yeah,
this isn't going to end well, right? And so I'm running, I'm chugging. Catcher throws the ball, and I hear this get down, slide, right?
Right.
So I slid right dead, right? And I slid, and I stopped, and I'm still like 6 feet away from the base. And the second baseman, he looks at me, looks down, looks at me, and just walks up and tags me, right?
Right.
And then my brother goes, "You're out." And my dad jumps up. "How dare you call your brother out?" It was Keystone Cops right there. But I literally, I slid 6 feet away from the bag, and the second baseman had to walk up and tag me. And yeah, that's when I knew baseball wasn't for me.
That's a fun science moment, man. Where everyone else is thinking average size with momentum, you'll slide to the base, and it's like not taking into the fact the mass of young Jason,
right?
Which means I just have this image of you like sliding, and you just like.
That's basically what happened.
It's like, what happened? And everyone's just like, well, we didn't see that coming,
Right. But
the thin first baseman would have just been like slid past second and tagged third.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson would have, tagged on second, gone for third, right?
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I'm sliding, because when I hear something, slide down, I did it right then. I didn't even wait to look and see if I'm even close to the bag. Hilarious. I just did that. I'm like, halfway between first and second.
Laying there like a beached whale.
Right. Dust, the dust clears, and here comes the kid up, with the glove. He's walking up to me and then takes me.
Yeah.
And of course, I got to do the walk of shame back to the dugout because, you can hear the tittering in the stands. Like, oh my God, did we just see this? I'm waving.
I could just see the stink face that baseman had on his like. Why am I even bothering with this?
Right. No, the guy was so.
You're out.
Yeah, the kid was so surprised and incredulous. He just kind of looked at me, looked down, at the ball, and he looked at me again. Like, what? What are you doing? I'm just laying there. Between first and second.
You could have. I mean, since you've lost all your dignity at that point, you could have just tried to do like a crawling creep. Maybe you won't notice me creeping,
slinking, right? Unobtrusive. Don't mind me. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna go slink off to the dugout.
Look over there.
And funny. I go back to the dugout and I sit down. And the coach just gives me that look, like, holy cow, what am I dealing with here? And I said, hey, you told me to slide.
I know that's the thing.
Alan, be quiet. Okay.
I'm just doing what you told me.
Right.
But right. I was always like, was it the same thing like the Bad News Bears with us?
Oh,
it was like you play it, and halfway through the game, the coaches would be yelling at each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And the whole
let me tell you, there is high emotions in Little League Baseball, right? Because you got the parents who always think their kid is Babe Ruth. Yeah. No matter what, and so they can't accept little Bobby got benched.
Yeah.
So
they come out and punch out the coach.
Right. Coaches are getting punched. Refs are getting threatened. Things there's just bedlam, right? And that's my.
Meanwhile, my safe space.
Right. Yeah, I remember we were sponsored by Jared Outdoor and More. Remember them?
Yeah.
So Jared's Outdoor? Yeah. So our hats said J.O.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't lost on it. That wasn't lost on the 10-year-old me, man.
I'm sure the opposing teams were like, nice hat.
Right. I don't know how many times. After the game, you got to get in a little line. Good game. I cannot tell you how many times you're walking through there doing that, and the other team's like, what the fuck is up with the hat, dude? I don't know. Turns out, dude, they get defensive, right? Because you've had to answer it like 50 times. It's that door, right?
It's Friday.
It's Friday, man.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Oh, man.
Happy Friday, everybody.
So 1 year ago today, Prince died.
Yeah.
It's not funny. I remember because it was kind of shocking. He was in the news and having some problems though, so it was not a complete shock. There was gossip and things going on. He was canceling concerts and stuff.
I delved into that because when it came that he passed away, I was like, wow, I didn't see that. I'd never heard that he had any health problems.
Well, he was canceling concerts.
Yeah.
So
I delved into it, right? Turns out Prince is a Seventh-day Adventist, and so he does not believe in getting blood transfusions, okay? And he needed a hip replacement.
He did?
He did.
I thought he did.
He was going to get one, but he didn't.
Because I did know he had a problem.
Right. And so what happened was he got hooked on opiates.
Yeah.
Mass quantities of, and that's how that happened. I did not know that he was a Seventh-day Adventist, and that's what their belief was about getting transfusions. But evidently, he was a very strict adherent to the Seventh-day Adventist code of conduct.
Right, yeah.
And
he had a lot of problems.
They were saying, dude, you need this hip. He's
a lot of pain.
Yeah,
and then of course his stage show, right? He's like an active. I mean,
he's a front man, dude.
50s, and he's known for his stage show and dancing around and doing all the.
He's Prince.
Yeah, he's Prince. So,
1 year.
1 year, yeah.
Wow, it just does not.
There's not really an upside to this, but I a year ago on this day. Mm-hmm. I hope it's not like a year Saturday. I just said everyone's talking about it, so
yeah.
So it just happened around here.
Yeah.
But I was on the computer and everyone's like, "Oh, when people are messaging, I'm getting messages from people who are like, wow, man, that guy had some tunes and whatnot." And then and he started that whole Paisley Park, the whole music, all of that Revolution, and so there's the public station in Minnesota was playing his whole discography from the first album on all day.
Wow!
And they had a live stream.
Wow!
And so it blew up Twitter.
Right. Yeah.
So people were like, and I was like, oh, right now, I was like, hit the live stream. Listen to all his albums, right?
Yeah.
And so and it kind of killed their server, and then they had to go and get more bandwidth and all that stuff because people were jumping on this huge tribute that day, and it was awesome because you could sit there and listen to his stuff and his earlier stuff and everything, and the guy just had lots of tunes. Some of his albums, it was like, this album is dedicated to 70s funk. This is me, you know what I mean? And it was well done. So it was just really some good stuff.
His early body of work when he was just kind of a regionally Midwestern known guy, right, out of Minneapolis. A lot of his early work, you listen to it, it's like, wow, this is really good. This guy should have blew up way before 1999,
Yeah.
And so I would have, I missed that. I would have loved to.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was like it reminded me curmudgeonly of back in the day when we had when radio stations were album stations.
Yeah.
And I remember, for example, when the drummer for Led Zeppelin
Bonham
died, John Bonham died. It was like KGON. That's all you heard the whole rest of the day. It was like, we're gonna play back to back Zeppelin all day, right? You know? And you're kind of cool. That's let's
seems
more
seems appropriate.
Yeah. So I kind of like that. So that was kind of old school move in my mind.
Yeah.
Out there, it was a public. It's like a public station. So
isn't that Garrison Keillor's turf?
Yeah, and interestingly enough, Mystery Science Theater's turf too.
Gotcha.
And in fact, because the revival and all that, they were in. I've been briefly. I've never been to Minnesota, but I've been to kind of Ohio in that area. But actually, somebody I know, they were in that area of Minnesota, and where he lived was kind of just this flat kind of. It's just very flat and mall-like and everything, and these kind of buildings. And apparently, I remember reading about the Mystery Science Theater guys, and they were like a mile away. They had like some strip mall area where they built their Mystery Science studios when they actually got the contract and got going. And they were like a mile away from like Paisley Park.
Wow.
So every once in a while, they'd go to lunch at some like, typical lunchy place. Like
and here comes Prince, right?
Yeah, like a Red Robin or whatever. Even one of those, kind of whatever places, and it would be like, hey, did you see Prince?
Yeah,
just walk by. So they would always kind of shout out to him on the show or whatever.
Right.
But
right.
Anyway, so
1 year. Wow.
Oh, okay. So that's exciting. What else we got?
Well, did you hear about that? And I think this will probably be one of the last political. But it's kind of just an interesting sort of. Did you see the thing about Jeff Sessions? Kind of calling Hawaii that island.
Yeah,
and kind of denigrating.
So here's one of my favorite people of all time, Jeff Sessions. Yeah, no, I've never liked him. Was he a senator, right?
Sessions, yes.
Yeah, he was. I never liked him.
No.
Never liked the guy, Senator Jeff Sessions, and now he's the Attorney General. And of course, talking about opiates, which are highly addictive and highly can be fatal. And there's a lot of stuff in the news. Meanwhile, yesterday was 420 Day,
right? Yeah.
And Huffington Post published this article calling "Here's the list of everyone who's died from marijuana," and the from THC and all that. And if you read through this thing, it just. You'd pretty much have to have barrels of THC
right
in here, just like pumping it down your.
Right, you got to be freebasing the stuff for years, and
and all in one time. But I mean, it's just ridiculous. And of course, and Sessions, I believe, is the one who said, "Oh yes, it's he's the question we have right now is what are all states like Oregon, California, Colorado,
right?
Where do we stand? Where it's legal in states, but it's still a Schedule I."
drug,
and
I find it really hypocritical, though, right? Because usually Republicans, they're the guys that are screaming states' rights. It should be up to the states, and unless it's something they don't like, then it's we need to step in from the feds and get marijuana illegal. Never mind, it's legal in Colorado, Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
And
wasn't he the guy who said something about hanging out with the the white folks, but then when he found out they were pot smokers, he didn't want to hang out with them. It's like something with a Klan. I don't know. It was some dirt we had on them, but
right. You cannot believe that somebody named Jefferson Davis Sessions may be just a little, racist.
Yeah,
but no, he. This was actually in conjunction with the federal judge. Holding up the travel ban.
Right.
And
in Hawaii.
Yes, here's his full quote. I got it right here.
Let me pull that up if I can, if I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm moving a little slow today.
It's Friday,
Yeah, we're kind of like... Oh, are we still back to your... Is that it?
There it is. Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Okay, here the quote is. I really am amazed that a judge sitting on an island in the Pacific can issue an order that stops the President of the United States from what appears to be clearly his statutory and constitutional power. Wow. It's like denigrating a state. Like, he just made Hawaii Pluto.
Mm-hmm. That's from the Atlantic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He just made Hawaii Pluto.
Yeah, I mean, it's a...
second-class state, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the United States. This guy, I saw that, and I was just like, when I think of the whole,
where's the Jefferson Beauregard sessions?
Just Jefferson
douchebag session.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, this guy's bad news. He's always been bad news. I follow these guys' careers in the Senate for years. This guy's just bad news.
1986 when he was up for a federal judge position. I mean, they raked him over the coals in Congress, and why? Because he said a bunch of inflammatory, racist stuff.
Yeah.
And
so
when let's make him the AG now. That makes total sense, right?
It reminds me of was it Ed Meese? Was he the AG?
Yeah, Ed Meese under Reagan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They were like going to rid the world of those dirty magazines behind 7-Eleven,
right? And the huge really up ramp of the war on drugs.
Yeah,
just say no, right?
Yeah. Well, the Ed Meese thing was he was like really in the pocket of the Liberty Foundation or whatever, the whole Jerry Falwell,
right?
Just all the people you want to really hang out with all the time.
Oh, I'm sure it's a hoot. I
mean, look, you could. Here's, I'm free speech.
Free speech.
I'm actually for diverse political views.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean Nazi or anything like that. That just means, I've friends who are liberal, friends who are conservative. I'm all for it. That's democracy.
I totally agree. Listen, you have the right to say whatever the heck you want. I have no problem with that. But don't be surprised that I have the right to call you a douchebag because you say something, racist and
just
inflammatory.
Don't be a dumbass.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing.
That should be like the 11th commandment.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not be a dumbass. Right.
It's actually good.
Yeah.
Do we need like 2/3 of the states to get that amended in the Ten Commandments?
I think we can get it. I don't think we're gonna have to bust the filibuster. I think we're good. I think we can get 61 out of that. I don't know.
Do we have to?
I think the South is going to give us problems. Well, we may have to run it through the Moses subcommittee to see what's going on. Burning Bush.
Yeah.
Maybe that, or maybe David Solomon. Solomon's supposed to be wise, right? So you get it. He's like the.
I don't get the Ten Commandments. So, like, dude comes down from the mountain,
right,
and then he throws it down on the ground and breaks the whole damn thing.
Well, he's
anyway,
pissed, dude. He goes up there because
I know.
God's calling him. He's got his tablets, and so he's up there, and God writes the tablets down. Says, "Here, Moses, take this back down to your people." Right, and so Moses comes down, and I can feel for the guy, dude. He's it's a rocky trip, and it's pretty steep, and you're walking down. You got these just heavy things, and you get down there and you see these bunch of guys dancing around a golden cow, right? I'd be pissed too. God damn it, I was gone 15 minutes and here you guys are making a cow.
That cow was huge. It was the best, most beautiful cow you have ever. I can't do Trump that well.
It was tremendous. It was huge. It was like anything you've ever seen before.
It was so gold.
It was so gold. It was like that chocolate cake we had down in Mar-a-Lago. Very good. Very, very good.
But, and then some Pharisees or whatever came and put a little statue of a little girl confronting the cow. Right. Right. Next thing you know, there's the little girl, and then there's a big fight about that. Moses gets all pissed. Don't you stay away from the golden girl, and then. Then they're banished. Right, and God gets pissed because he's looking around. He's like trying to do his God stuff, and he looks down. And he sees this whole kerfuffle down there in the valley, and he's like, "Hey, you guys, you're back in the wilderness for 40 years. Man, I don't want to deal with this stuff. Go, that's like God's time out, right? When he's like sends you in the wilderness for 40 years, like, okay, you screwed up, just go, just go in the wilderness." And so, but yeah, you got to feel for Moses, though, dude. You guys walking down, and he's not a young guy. He's an older guy. He's a curmudgeon, right? He's like, all right, I got these huge damn tablets. Now I got to go back down and deal with these dudes, right? So he gets down there, and he finds these guys dancing around this big golden calf. I would be pissed, too. Mm-hmm. You don't deserve these tablets. Thou shalt not be a dumbass. See, I don't know.
If we could redo the King James.
It's so gold.
Right, it's a golden cow.
So what? I don't know.
But out of all the things to make and to worship, right? Why did they settle on a cow? Mm-hmm. I would have settled on something really totally out there where people would what? You make a golden platypus, right? Duck-billed platypus, or maybe a good marmot. You know? Or, I don't know, a big, if you really want to send a message, how about a big 50-foot golden tarantula?
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
Right. Instead of having 10 commandments, you got 8 commandments because of the legs.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
And one of those commandments is, thou shalt not be a dumbass.
Right.
And then another one would be live and let live.
Right. Yeah.
But be excellent to each other.
Bill and Ted's Old Testament, right?
Party on, dudes.
Amen, amen. I say to you, party on.
Yeah. To this day, that's probably the best. Trust me, the future, the Bill and Ted's future, a lot better than the future we're looking at right now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we're wishing for Bill and Ted at this point.
Wild Stallions.
Oh, no. You just can't walk into this dojo and throw down Wild Stallions and walk away. Yeah. Holy cow. Love that movie. You know, there was talk for a long time that they were going to make a third.
There was a second one?
Bill and Ted's...
that's the one with Billy the Kid, isn't it? Billy the Kid's in it, right?
And the Grim Reaper guy?
Yeah.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Is that Billy? Yeah, isn't it Billy the Kid, I think?
Yeah.
I think so. I think.
Or was he in the first one? Because there's Beethoven,
Joan of
Napoleon,
Arc. Joan of Arc.
Genghis Khan.
Joan of Arc was one of the gals from the...
Yeah, Joe Whelan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was, let's see, Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, I feel like Billy the Kid's in the second one.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that.
I'll go with that. Let's go.
We can look it up if we need to. In food news, headlines, Katy Perry spits out Starbucks unicorn frappuccino after one sip.
Ooh, yeah, I've heard some bad stuff about that.
I couldn't handle drinking my own blood.
Wow, that's a little dramatic.
This is from peoplemagazine.com. Starbucks fans and celebrities are buzzing. Have you heard about this? Over the coffee megastore's unicorn frappuccino, the sparkly color and changing new frozen beverage that photographs well, but has gotten some harsh reviews taste-wise. Just ask Katy Perry. The 32-year-old chained to the rhythm. I didn't know she was 32. I thought she was younger than that.
Wow, yeah.
Singer gave the limited time drink a taste on Thursday, showing off her negative reaction on her Instagram story. Oh, God. Instagram stories. Don't get me started. Otherwise known as We Like to Be Snapchat, just like Snapchat. She seemed excited, but couldn't handle drinking my own blood. I couldn't handle drinking my own blood. There's her picture right there.
Now, if she says she can't handle drinking her own blood, does she admit that she's a unicorn? Is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
It's like unicorn cannibalism?
I think so.
That's disturbing in a way.
You know, about Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I miss Left Shark. Do you remember Left from the Super Bowl? When she did the Super Bowl and she did this stuff. Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then they had the sharks come out and dance.
Right.
Left Shark.
I remember that. Yeah.
So here's let's get a good picture of this drink. Right above that is related. Woman reveals pregnancy to her husband with a unicorn frappuccino. Well,
jeez.
Oh, good old people.
How are you trying to... Anyway. How can you work that in? Like, honey, look, it's a unicorn thing. Oh, by the way, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you're drinking that...
right.
You know, you do get into some weird...
pickles and ice cream sort of stuff.
I mean, it's not every... But yeah... From what I've seen and experienced, it's
I may have to go try it.
It's whatever. What, the frappuccino?
Yeah,
getting pregnant, or
well, that too. But the unicorn really frappuccino. I'd get an epidural on that one. Yeah, but no, the whole thing with this unicorn. I might have to see what all the
really
hype about. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to film it because
I'll tell you what.
I wouldn't drink that crap.
I'll tell you what.
No offense, Starbucks.
On Monday's show, I will show up with the unicorn frappe.
Is that a limited time, though? Will they have it Monday?
I'll call. I'll call and ask him.
Call in.
I'll call him. See if they. I think
it'll be discontinued today, so you'll actually have to get one and flash freeze it. No, I don't even know.
Well, I think
did they do it?
Well, I think it's good until the end of the month. I think that's when they end the stuff. So Monday, if it's still there Monday, I'll bring 2 of them in. One for you, one for me, and we can.
Please
don't.
God, no. It looks.
Well, there wasn't much gray area. They're like, you will not bring.
Have you seen the color of my preferred drink? It's pitch black.
Yeah.
Which this is all I need right here.
Joe's Dark.
Joe's Dark.
There you go.
Joe's Dark Roast right here. I can even zoom it in, but I'm not going to because I don't feel like it. But that's all it takes. Joe's Dark and.
Hey Joe, you want to be a sponsor of Curmudgeons? Come on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll bring one in just to bench test it right on air.
I've
heard bad stuff. A lot of people say they just don't like it.
It makes me think of puking. I mean, it just doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of hubbub over the new iPhone. iPhone has leaked, and I think basically it's like the leaked iPhone stuff looks like a Samsung.
Right,
it's like a Galaxy, and the screen is going to be I think an OLED now, which
really
they haven't. Yeah, which is all our Samsung stuff and our cameras and things. A bright screen. But by the way, folks, I speak from experience. OLED is organic LED. They burn in like the old CRT monitors. For real.
Yeah.
And my Samsung, for whatever reason, already has a burn-in thing and can't do anything about it.
Ooh,
from surfing, the internet using it. Doesn't happen with the LED, but it will happen with the OLED.
Right.
Or like the old...
like on big screens, right? You couldn't play video games on big screens because
fluorescent. Those whatever they're not around anymore. They were big, heavy, and hot. LEDs kind of replaced them. They were better for refresh rate and color depth and all that stuff, but LED technology got better and better. So just word of warning. A judge approves the largest fine in U.S. history for Volkswagen.
Really?
Ordering the German maker to pay $2.8 billion criminal penalty negotiated as part of a settlement with U.S.
Wow. 2.8 billion.
This is that diesel thing, that EPA diesel thing.
Right, yeah.
That they got caught up in. Now, I once owned one of these.
Yeah?
Fantastic technology.
So what sort of VW? Was it a Golf? Was it a Cabriolet?
Jetta.
Okay.
It was a TDI. Great technology, the TDI. Small, I think it was like 1.7 or 1.9. It's a small liter engine, but really a lot of power. And it's TDI. It's a turbo diesel injector.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a heck of an engine, and also of course along with all the power and everything, highly fuel efficient.
Sure.
But they worked with the numbers, and we have, unlike Europe, we have a lot of heavy diesel emissions, except not for commercial vehicles. But anyway, that's kind of a scam. You know that there are other car makers that are now coming out and being investigated for this EPA stuff. So come on, do you think it's just the Germans over there, Volkswagen?
Interesting to see how that.
It's not. They just got their hands caught in the cookie jar,
right? But I'm interested to see how that unfolds, because them trying to basically deconstruct the EPA. It'd be interesting to see.
Oh, that's a good point. I know
how high it makes it in the courts and how.
But not an American company, a German company. See.
Yeah, you're right. They're never going to go against Ford, GM, or Ford.
If anything, they'll get on them.
I can see that. The whole he's not a big fan of Merkel. He goes after VW.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll go after Honda or Toyota because they have some influence.
So anyway, so they had that, and I had one of these. So I'm like going, do I get a check?
Yeah.
Because I can, I sold it.
Class action sort of thing, man. Yeah.
Well, I got it as a fuel efficient. I mean, it was that or a Prius. And I probably, in the end, so the problem is I got the diesel, and then so the whole biodiesel craze. So it was like, hey, eventually you'll just be able to put grass in this tank, and it'll be great, Yeah. And I knew people who were doing their own
corn cobs.
I knew a guy at work that after he'd get off work, he'd go around to the fast food places and get all their dirty fry oil, and then filter it all, and make diesel out of it.
Wow.
Biodiesel.
Wow.
And which is great. I mean, there's the emissions. Yeah. It's like it doesn't burn the nasty stuff.
And it smells like French fries.
And it smells like French fries. It doesn't smell like diesel. And some of the older cars, you have to modify some of the plastic. But the thing is that in Germany, they manufacture a lot of these diesel engines now that are biodiesel ready. So they actually will.
Yeah.
They don't allow the warranty. Like, I never tried it because it would violate the warranty.
Yeah.
But after it goes out of warranty, it's like, no, that engine will run biodiesel. You're fine. So it was like really a thing.
$2.8 billion. Yeah. That's Oprah money right there. $2.8 billion.
I remember even W. So I got this thing for a fuel efficient to commute because I had to commute.
Sure.
And so it was that or a Prius. I went for that because of all the biodiesel and everything. I mean, that was even W was like switchgrass. We're gonna make some fuel out of switchgrass.
Right.
I mean,
well, it's a German thing, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was a good vehicle. It was a very, very good vehicle. Okay. Yeah. And so I should have got the Prius, really, because the moment I got it, diesel fuel prices went through the roof, and diesel went through the roof. Diesel had traditionally been cheaper than gas, and it went through the roof, and it was like, I mean, even though you didn't have to buy as much, but when you tank it up, you're like, oh, wow, okay, well, that's a lot of money. But then it would last for several weeks. This thing had a range of like,
how many miles to the gallon was it?
Oh, it was crazy. It was in the realistically, it was like in the like city driving. It was still in the high 30s to 40. It was very, very good. Like you could the thing that was cool is you can drive from Portland to like San Francisco easily on a tank, and no worries at all.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, someone else had one that you know,
billion,
Betty.
Oh, okay.
TDI Bug, and those are even more fuel efficient because they're a lighter car. So, same engine with a lighter chassis. It's like you're driving across country on a tank of diesel. It's nice.
Bad. Yeah.
It's the way, and the whole thing is the EPA. This is a Trump thing, right? They're pulling away all the EPA stuff, as you just mentioned.
Yeah,
they want to do away with it because you should only get 8 gallons. Or 8 miles to a gallon or something.
Right, the old Cadillacs, right?
Which is completely BS.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point is you can make a fuel-efficient engine, but,
Big Oil don't want that, dude.
Big Oil don't want it, and American car companies are just like, unless you're Tesla, Elon Musk, trying to, like, hack it,
Sure.
Anyway, so I'm wondering if there'll be a little payout there. Like maybe they'll be like, oh, you owned one of these, you'll get $2.50 out of this settlement.
Right.
Here's your check for $2.50. Go buy yourself that unicorn frappuccino.
You have extra money for the unicorn frappuccino.
Exactly. So you got something else? I think it did.
Cuba Gooding Sr.
Yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s father, who's a musician, passed away. I'm trying to think of the follow-up. I think Hernandez had killed himself in prison. This is all the fun news, right? We're always trying to find something more interesting and
sure.
So one thing that did happen. Let's talk sports. We had the Blazers and the Warriors.
Yep.
I should pull up the standings. And the first game was actually pretty good.
I think game 3 tonight. Right?
I think it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So we had the game 1, which was it Monday night? I think Tuesday night, and it was pretty close. And then I watched game 2. That was on Wednesday, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Wow, it was just like a blur for many reasons, and that was kind of ugly in the fourth quarter. The Warriors kind of lit up and
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, game 3. So we'll see. That'll be back in Portland, though.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're wondering if Nurkic.
Mm-hmm.
They're wondering if he's going to be back by then.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, on the other side, they're wondering if Durant will be back because he'd hurt his ankle. So I don't know, man.
So it's not looking good for the Blazers.
Yeah, but
the last game was a little ugly.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're the Warriors. It wasn't unexpected.
No, I know, and it's like
who would ever thought we would have got there this year?
Yeah,
early on in the season, Portland was horrible.
Yeah,
and back then they're talking, wow, let's just try to get a lottery pick and rebuild, but they actually pulled it through and got into the playoffs. So
yeah, that's tomorrow. Game 3.
Gotcha. Okay.
7:30. Wizards and the Hawks, the Raptors and the Bucks. Who's today? Celtics and the Bulls. I think there's some ugliness going on with that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Clippers and the Jazz. Rockets. We didn't even talk about I think it's over now. The Charles Barkley comments.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
We did talk about that, but we didn't talk about. Well, no, actually, maybe we did. I don't remember what we talked about.
Sometimes our rambling conversations, it can go in any direction, and sometimes like, oh, wow, did we talk about that?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure.
So here's the finals. Here's your standings right there.
There it is.
Oh. So Golden State's up by 2, as we know. Portland, the Clippers, and Utah Jazz are tied 1-1. Houston and Oklahoma 2-0. Yeah. Boston, Chicago leads 2.
Boston.
I'm doing the Pacers and Cleveland. That's 3-0 Cleveland.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was a wild one. The Cleveland.
Yeah. I'm doing my best. If you follow that, I'm doing my best, Mike Francesa.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but also
funny thing.
Did you see that? They came out with the first designs of the now moved Las Vegas Raiders.
No, really?
Yeah, and it's interesting.
Wait, they're moving not right now though.
They are. I think they're supposed to start next season in Las Vegas.
So they have a new logo and a new design.
Kind of, yeah. They're revamping their whole image, and they've asked for it's kind of like an open sort of submission thing. And I was if you go to ESPN in one of the NFL stories, you can actually
thing right there.
Yeah, you can actually.
It's like there,
right? But there's another beta submission where they changed the guy to a skull.
Oh,
the skull with the eye patch and stuff.
Huh. And that's at ESPN, huh?
Yeah, one says Vegas Raiders, and there's one that says Sin City. And it's you can't really change too much because Oakland is one of those teams that the fans are purists, right? It's almost like Green Bay. Do not switch the logo on the helmets. Do not switch the uniforms. This is the way it's going to be all the time. Yeah. And if you deviate from it, fans freak, And they're
Here's
Oakland
one,
is one
I
of
guess.
them. Right. That's there's been a few submissions, and
that just I don't know. The whole pirate thing. I don't know. It's Vegas, right?
It's Vegas, right?
It should be like something I don't know.
And what is the fans are freaking out about? Raider fans is some of the early submissions because it's Vegas. They put a little gold. It's no longer just silver and black. It's silver, black, and gold.
Here we go.
They're trying to give.
Here's what you're talking about right here.
Right there, huh? And they want to put gold in there because it's like bling, And yeah,
that's really that's an awesome logo. It's like we went to a high school, a ninth grade class, and We had some ninth graders.
That's what they came up
mock
with,
up
right?
the logo, right?
Right, and the yellow is just not yellow; it's a highlighter, So they're
I know.
So, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting. I think that's their first major sports team, right?
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Raiders are their first one.
Yep, for years and years, Vegas was persona non grata because of the betting.
Yeah.
They didn't want to have any sort of, especially baseball, because they didn't want to have any echoes of the 1919 Black Sox scandal.
Yeah.
And that creeps everyone out, so they Vegas gets no team until finally they're like, well,
sure,
it's so prevalent now, and there's safeguards that can be put in place. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, right. I mean, it's like, sure.
Plus
Betting on sports and insider. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Ask Pete Rose.
Yeah. It never happens, right?
Right. But, so, I mean, plus Vegas gave Oakland a sweetheart deal. I mean, holy cow, man. They're literally paying almost no taxes. They're getting a brand new state-of-the-art...
Imagine that, paying no taxes for a sports team.
Right. And, they're getting pretty much a brand spanking new indoor stadium that's like $1.2 billion. And they're saying by the time it's done, it's going to be on the par with the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. You know how state-of-the-art that is. And so they are now the Las Vegas Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another, there's another change. I mean, next year you have to call them the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh.
LA goes from 0 teams to 2 teams.
Really?
The Rams are back there, and now the San Diego Chargers moved up from San Diego. And that's one thing I kind of, San Diego, that's a hard one, but I kind of agree with because their stadium, the Murph, I mean, it's 40, 50 years old, and it's pretty much decrepit. And, I mean, so, yeah, you got to give them some love and have them stay in San Diego. Mm-hmm. But they're, for the good or bad, they're now up in L.A.
Yeah.
Which that's where they started back in 1960. The very first season they were the LA Chargers.
Right.
And then they moved down to San Diego. So
you're a what's your team? Who's your team?
My favorite team?
Yeah.
Redskins, Washington Redskins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well they haven't been. Yeah, they haven't been going an ongoing concern since 92.
The Redskins?
Redskins, yes.
Okay. Along with the Cleveland Indians.
Right.
Jason, we need to talk about your teams and their mascot.
Well, yeah, I know.
I thought they changed it.
It's weird, and it's maybe a little hypocritical for me because my grandpa on my mother's side, he is half Cherokee. So
well, did you see during the World Series? It's and they brought the Cleveland Indians. They brought back that mascot,
Chief Wahoo. Yeah.
And you're just looking at it going, it's 2017.
You
could probably go to a 9th grade and have some kids mock up. They'll put a yellow highlighter around it.
Yeah,
every logo will be a pirate skull.
Yeah, I'm mixed emotions about that because I think it is at heart it is a racist.
Oh yeah,
name, right?
I mean, we've changed so much. If I have a book from trademarks from the 20s and the 30s, like the advertising from the 1920s and 1930s.
Yeah,
and it's fascinating. It's often beautiful because you're talking height of Art Deco design and things like that.
Yeah,
but there's tons and tons of racist advertising. We had it here in Portland,
sure,
in the West Coast, the chicken place.
Or Sambo's.
The Sambo's. And those were still around until like the 60s, civil rights, until things started like even the late 60s and early 70s. People were like going, okay, enough of this. I mean, it's bad. There's, the toothpaste, and go look it up. I'm not even going to repeat it, but it's horrible stuff if you look at it. And I'm kind of like, I'm sorry, I kind of like sports teams at this point that, use and have a kind of an inherently racist logo. It's like, it's 2017, guys. It's time to change. I mean, and they did. They actually didn't. They changed the logo, and then they went in the World Series. Then all of a sudden, the old logo popped back up, and I was like,
right, yeah. So no, it's still a conflict with me.
yeah.
I originally started liking them back in the early '80s because there was a fullback, or not in their system. It's not a full; it's just their one-back system. But John Riggins, right? And he was my little hero back then because when I played, I was a fullback, and you look to Riggins as an inspiration. You know, when he's in the Super Bowl and they're playing the Miami Dolphins, and it's getting late in the fourth quarter, and it looks like, man, this is the last drive. You guys are going to lose unless you punch it into the end zone. So they hand the ball off to old Riggins, and he goes around the left side, and at one point he's literally carrying like 2 or 3 Dolphins on his back as he's rumbling into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a huge Riggins fan. That's how I became a Redskins fan.
Now, see, when I was a kid, Dolphins. I like that, and they had a pretty good team. I think back in those days.
72 Dolphins are the only undefeated team ever.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Larry Zonka.
Yeah, Larry Zonka and those guys. Yeah. The Dolphins. And Dolphins, cute. Dolphin.
Sure.
Logo. Dolphins.
Sure.
We're Dolphins. Dolphins. And that's the whole thing, I think. I think sports teams, you know, you're always okay with go with a duck, go with a dolphin, go with a lion or a bear or a cub or whatever. You know?
Right.
But
well, there is talk
be safe. Or a timber.
Snyder, the owner for the Redskins, I mean, he is hardcore against changing the name.
Oh, yeah.
But I think eventually
they'll get him.
They'll get him because they're also running into the antitrust.
Yeah.
I mean, they got stripped of their copyright.
Uh-huh.
And so it means anyone can make Redskins gear, which means they're going to lose millions of dollars.
Yeah, no, it's just no.
I predict within 10 years they will be called the Washington Warriors.
But at 10 years, though.
Yeah.
10 years.
It moves at a snail's pace.
Yeah, but it's 2017, dude.
I completely understand.
Come on, it's 2017.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about maybe rooting for, of course, I like the Seahawks because they're kind of the local team. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking about maybe switching to...
the Cowboys.
No. I have a rumor about the Cowboys. I actually photoshopped him. The owner, Jerry Jones. Yeah, Darth Belichick, right? But no, I was thinking about following the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh God, yeah.
Because my grandma, she's 100% Norwegian and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I had a neighbor who was like a big Vikings fan.
The Vikings are pretty good. Hey.
Yeah. So, no, they're like Vikings fans are Vikings fans.
Yeah, and
probably the way in football, but
I started kind of following the Tennessee Titans because of Marcus Mariota.
Oh, I didn't
the guy
know
from the Ducks. Speaking of Ducks, our Anarchy's 5th birthday thing is next Saturday, and one of the people that's going to be calling in for a little cameo is ex-Duck quarterback, who's now the quarterback for the Montreal Alouettes up in Canada, okay. Vern Adams.
Yeah?
Yeah. For some reason, he likes us.
Oh, well, there you go.
So he's going to call him.
And that's next
Saturday, the 29th. Totally family friendly. It's going to be a G-rated show.
Where's that going to
be? Wild Hair up in Oregon City. There's a band, the Hereafters. They're going to be playing. We're bringing in a country music lady. She's going to do some acoustic stuff, too. And there's going to be cake. The Mayor Jeremy is coming down from Seattle to hang with us, and so Doc, if you're not doing nothing, bring the youngin. It's going to be a total PG rated.
Yeah,
and it should be.
So I wanted to. I did want to. So I didn't want to hit like one. I want to get out of this news cycle thing, but I wanted to. This was a bad, crazy news, goodish news. Just weird stuff happening this week, and weird stuff happening here in Portland, in the Portland area. There was this guy who a guy walks into a Denny's and pours gasoline on a guy and sets him on fire.
Oh yeah.
And they caught the suspect.
That was here in Oregon, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was Happy Valley.
Happy Valley.
Yeah, my wife showed me that.
Yeah, and they caught the suspect yesterday. They Done a manhunt on the security cameras. Somebody with a rap sheet, and it probably
a mile long.
Looks pretty,
He's a recidivist, right?
And there was a weird incident that something similar happened in a movie theater out here in Clackamas, and but that person didn't get set on fire, and they didn't cooperate. It was very, very odd, but really just like one of those things. But this guy was, I believe, 69 years old. This poor guy who got set on fire. He's in the hospital with critical injuries. They did catch the person, but if you go to the Oregonian or the site, it's kind of a long URL. I wish GoFundMe had one, but I did want to just put it up here because I heard about this poor thing, and his family has set up a GoFundMe for his medical bills for these burns and stuff. This guy Scott, our brother Scott, who went through a senseless and horrific act of violence in Portland, Oregon on 4/19/17. So so just if you can check this out on the Oregonian, Oregon Live, or KGW, it's GoFundMe,
right?
YHRHAF-Scots-recovery-fund at GoFundMe.com. I mean, that's kind of a hard URL. At some point,
very worthy cause.
Yeah, we should just make a short URL and pop it in there. But
what is up with people nowadays? Lighting people on fire just because.
Yeah. I mean, that was just like
call me a curmudgeon.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
The Oregonian, the Oregon Live.
Yeah.
They got the 50 top charting Oregon albums in music history. I don't know why, but all of a sudden, maybe quite simply because it's like, oh, look at all this terrible local news, people.
Here's a happy story.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Jason? What's your? Don't do it. You're not supposed to look there.
Top 10 albums
top
of
50
all
charting. Here's another one.
Okay.
The 11 Oregon bands with the most hit albums. How about that one?
Oregon bands. Let's see, Paul Revere and the Raiders.
I don't think
so. What's that?
Yeah, you got it. So number one.
Yeah.
Number one is here. Let's put this. This is on Oregon Live. Number one is Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Right.
Still can't beat them. When they signed to Columbia Records in the '60s, became Portland's first national rock stars.
Yeah.
With hits such as "Kicks," Where the Action Is. Their recording of Louie Louie didn't race up the charts like the Kingsmen's did in '63. I didn't realize that they also did Louie Louie. Chart count 14 albums. Number two, oh, this is good. Robert Cray.
Yes, Smoking Gun.
Oh, yeah. Bluesman scored a crossover hit with Strong Persuader in 1986, which rose to number 13 from Eugene.
Robert Cray.
12 albums, Robert Cray. The Decemberists, I kind of figured we'd be about in Decemberists. Lyric-driven folk rock act. 2000s indie rock scene, The King is Dead. Chart count 9 albums. This is according to Oregon Live. So the Decemberists. Next one, M. Ward, She and Him.
Never heard of him.
Dude, me neither.
How about New Shoes? Quarter Flash.
Well, we're in 4, so I don't know. M. Ward's gruff bluesy folk has drawn its own following thanks to indie classics such as Transfiguration of Vincent, which did not chart, we must admit. In partnership with singer-actress Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah, okay,
whose retro duo She and Him have carved out a career. So is she part of this?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Okay. Everclear.
Yes.
At number 5. Chart count 8. Art. Alexis. How do you say it's
Art Alexis?
Alexa, but he's got an extra vowel in there.
Yeah, I know.
You ever talk to him?
Personally, no.
Okay. Everclear 5.
I've heard mixed I'll tell you a story off the air.
Okay. I've heard good things too, or good or bad things. I don't know. Good things. The Shins.
The Shins, yes.
Number 6, synonymous with the expert indie. So the Shins, number 6, chart count 7. Cutlass. Chart count 7. This is a Christian rock act.
Okay.
So don't know Cutlass.
Okay.
Modest Mouse.
Modest Mouse.
Finally. I mean, I'd expect them to be in this top 10 too.
Yeah.
Chart count 6. Pink Martini.
Yeah, they've been around forever.
At number 9. That kind of surprises me. I would expect Pink Martini would be a little bit higher in the charts, but they're very popular. 20 years they've been at it.
I remember when the big thing was them and then the Crazy Eights.
Yeah, Stephen Malkmus and the Jicks. After Pavement, Stephen Malkmus made his own way forward. Oddball guitar work. Chart count 6. That's number 10. Pleasure. There's one from our day.
Pleasure.
Remember Pleasure?
Yeah.
Marion McLean, the group was Portland's answer to Earth, Wind, and Fire, or Kool and the Gang, masters of 70s and 80s R&B.
Yeah.
Their chart became in 1979 with Future Now, which rose to number 67, chart count 6.
I always got them mixed up with the Portland band Cooler.
Yeah.
Coles.
Yeah, they were kind of in that Pleasure and Cooler, and they were in that kind of 80s-ish, out of the late 70s, 80s-ish kind of funk. Like they said, kind of the Earth, Wind, and Fire kind of funk.
Like a disco funk, right?
Yeah.
Sort of pop.
They were good, though. I remember Pleasure. Yeah. We have, Richard on Turning Left, and I think Pleasure was, one of the KINK picks back in the day. Yeah, no, I don't see New Shoes on here. And they're still out there and around.
I'm totally surprised Quarter Flash, too, because for a few albums, they had, Hard in My Heart, big song, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they've got one going from top 50 charting. I'm not going to go through it. Chris Body.
Yeah.
Quarter Flash. They have at Quarter Flash Take Another Picture at 45, but that wasn't the one with Harden. That was later. Everclear at 42. Yeah. Okay. Robert Cray. Robert Cray's up there. That makes a lot of sense.
No, yeah,
he still pulls him in.
I remember when he I don't know if he still is.
Now I got that song stuck in my head.
Smoking Gun. Right. Good song.
Yeah, it is.
Huh. Interesting.
Wow. It's a Friday.
It is. It
Boy.
is a Friday.
Yeah. I met up on Wednesday after doing all the stuff. I met up on Wednesday. Night, and so I was like, I was messaging. I was like, just hey, what's up? What are you up to? And it's like, hey, I'm in here. You want to meet up? It's like, okay, I'll meet you up down at the, a watering hole.
Yeah,
that was a mistake.
Right. Yeah.
I don't go out a lot that much, and so then it was just like
sometimes you let your hair down and just sort of.
Yeah, sometimes the IPA is a little stronger. I mean, I didn't even order an IPA. I ordered a PBR, and I think she heard IPA, and I was like, man. Anyway.
Right. I'll take a PBR. Don't insult me. You will have an IPA here.
Yeah.
Oh. So it's like 3 times as
fun.
Potent.
Yeah. So what you got?
Here's a story.
Something breaking
out of tech and science news.
Yes, there is tech and science news.
Let's see here. Let me get that back up here.
And
the story is, if I can get it back up. There we go. Diet soft drinks triple the risk of dementia.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
actually. Why is that? Do we think it's the supplement or?
Well, researchers from Boston University School of Medicine looked at data from about 4,400 people from the town of Framingham, Massachusetts. Let's see. It's wow. They're kind of blaming it on the artificial sweeteners.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Spartamine or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be it. I actually had some interesting stuff. I figured out how to do my Facebook. Have you seen this one? Let's just look at this one.
Okay.
This kind of came up. Welcome to Dig Nation.
Dig Nation. Can you dig? Can you dig
what was his
it?
name? I met him once. The Dig guy. It's on the cover of Forbes when he. What's his name? He bought a house here in Portland.
Yeah.
A few years ago. I don't know if he lives in Portland anymore.
Interesting.
Oh, see how you forget on the internet. Oh, it can't be reached. There's this new website, Illuminati. Did you see that one?
No.
It was in my Facebook, but I'll have to log into Facebook. But now I'm getting tired. It's been a long week. This is like now we're delving into dig territory here. Dig Nation.
We're
Alex was I just remember the dude. One of the first like podcasts where they'd sit and do exactly what I'm doing right now. Look up stuff on the internet and talk about it. This was like 10 years ago, guys.
All right. Remember how we were talking about we just did the story on the top 10 selling albums. Okay. So I'm going to throw this out there. It's a pop quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you were on the desert island top 5, if you list albums.
You're gonna throw that at me
I'm
now?
throwing it out there.
That's way too. You know what we could blame this show on? Because it was not that, but it was 420 yesterday. So
right.
you know
we can blame it on the
blame it on the
Mary Jane?
on the beat. No, blame it on the
I blame Mary Jane, dude. She, she's a cruel mistress.
There was some interesting.
And she smells like a skunk.
Come on. Why when you Google something to quickly put it on, it's always not the thing you want. And don't tell me it's because I'm bad at Google, because I'm not. Queen Elizabeth II. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Today.
Wow. She's got to be what, 90?
91.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who else? Speaking of old people whose birthday it is today, I think they should hang out and celebrate together.
Ooh.
Queen Elizabeth is 91. Iggy Pop is 70, according to this site.
That blows my mind. Iggy Pop at 70. I cannot picture him at 70.
There's a really good Netflix documentary called, is it David Says? And it's about the guy who discovered like the Stooges, the Ramones. It's a really good documentary. Like if you're into that back end music. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, the old back then with CBGBs, Ramones, Blondie, coming out of that.
Yeah, I think
New York.
Danny Says. Thank you. It was close.
Danny Says.
It's actually, if you want to see a really good documentary about rock and roll, which I like good old documentaries, this one's up on Netflix. A lot of good music documentaries on Netflix. This is this guy, Life and Times of Danny Fields.
Okay.
And he got his start like in the late mid-late 60s. He was like a photographer and a promoter, kind of a marketing promoter guy, and he would hang out with Jim Morrison down in California and all that.
Yeah.
And then and what's brilliant is other than mowing the lawn out there, he sees the Stooges on stage, and everyone's like, "This is the worst band ever," and he's like, "Sign them."
He's the one guy in the crowd that's like, these guys are going to be huge.
And he ends up working one of the major labels, and the guy, the head of the label, is like, if he walked in, we would hear it, we wouldn't understand it, but if he said we need to sign these guys, we'd sign these guys. That's how good his rep was. And so at that point, when he sees the Ramones at CBGB's, he's like, these guys right here, this punk thing is, and he quits everything and becomes their manager.
Wow.
So yeah, Danny Says, very interesting.
Cool. I'll check that out.
He grew up, a real high IQ kind of a guy.
Sure.
Grew up in New York, Jewish, gay.
Gotcha.
So, like, just like the whole cultural thing, the whole rock and roll cultural thing. Hung out at the factory with Warhol and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole. It's almost like a Woody Allen, like like this guy was everywhere, right? It's like there's that Woody Allen movie, it was Zelig, and where the guy is everywhere and he kind of morphs into the people he's at. It's really brilliant. It's made as a mockumentary.
Gotcha.
It's a Woody Allen film, but this guy is like that in rock and roll. It's like, oh, here's the Doors. There's Danny over here in the corner. Oh, here's Bowie. Here he is, the Warhol. There's Danny in the corner. So the guy was everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And it's like those everywhere tastemaker people back then, back when there wasn't an internet and there wasn't this explosion of you can get all the internet, anything you want out there, your own personal taste. These people had to figure it out.
Yeah, he reminds me a little bit of that Kim Fowler guy out of L.A.
Yeah.
Of course, he discovered the Runaways. And
tomorrow, Jack Nicholson turns 79.
Wow.
Oh, David Luiz of Chelsea Soccer Club. David Luiz turns 29 tomorrow. Wow. Chelsea's there. They've been knocking it out. So big. Maybe we'll talk soccer news, and we talked American football news, but we'll talk soccer news next week. In the Champions League, Spain.
Barcelona
at Atletico. And Real
Wow.
Madrid, so the big powerhouses there.
Yeah,
that was some news. So I have not kept up. I've been busy early in the week. So there's what's going on in the world.
That's right.
I was just gonna try to pull up one cool thing I found here. We're actually working on that. That's gonna be the next thing. That and this is another thing I don't like. Like, you get stuff on here it is, saved. Thank you. I was checking this yesterday. These are great headlines. So this will make you happy. I just pulled this up. Study by MIT economist: U.S. has regressed to a third world nation for most of its citizens.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you, MIT.
This one you're gonna love.
Okay.
Because I think we were talking about this. You seen this one?
Spicy? Yes! Frank Burns.
So someone, Captain Janeway, this isn't actually, she has a official Twitter account. The actor who's Janeway, what's her name? I've been struggling for months to figure out who Angry Spice reminds me of till this weekend when I flipped through some cable channels, and it's Spicer, and a picture next to him with Frank Burns from MASH, and it's uncanny.
Yes.
So there's that. I thought that was interesting-ish.
I'm going to have to start photoshopping him into MASH scenes. Spicer and MASH.
That's right. This you're gonna like this one. See, look, this is what I should have done 2 hours ago, but that's okay. I'm just leaving you with some stuff. You're gonna like this because this goes along with your diet stuff, and the vegan and all these other things. Records found in dusty basement undermine decades of dietary advice. So supposedly, this guy is I think does he have a podcast or something? He's a researcher. This is in Scientific American, and he goes out and finds old research that's been discarded, or
wow,
he's kind of like this archaeologist of research that for whatever reason has been hidden or shoved away, and he finds this 40-year-old study that suggests that the whole trans fat and vegetable fat thing is that there's no evidence that eating what we know as heart-healthy kind of vegetable-type fats is better than animal fat.
Than eating bacon.
Right.
24/7.
That's, in a nutshell, TLDR. That's pretty much it. And I question that a little bit. I mean, there's the cholesterol thing, right?
Yeah.
But There may also be something to that because if you know anything about fats and the chemistry, it's kind of they're permeable. They kind of go from there's somebody who did a really good book about fats, and he talks about chickens eating worms and seeds, and then you eat the chicken, and it's kind of like and it's all about the omega-3s and all that, and the fish oil and why those things are good, and I don't know. So there's something like that.
Interesting, yeah.
One of the other things I did want to touch on, but I'm not going to do it. Our Rachel Dolezal. Remember, she was in Spokane there.
Yes.
NAC. Whatever. She's a white woman who says she's black, and she's in the news again because she wrote her book and makes a lot of claims, and she's getting raked through the coals in the press. Probably rightly so, because the point that the kind of damage that she did to other people, and the extreme right that has come out and made her the poster child of being an imposter, and it's pretty bad. We talked about the Rick Steves thing. There's a Milwaukee film series that I want to talk about. We can talk about that next week.
Yes, yeah.
About watersheds and stuff. Here it is. Oh, this is what I meant to bring up. The Illuminati now has a website.
Crazy.
Illuminati, official website of the Illuminati. Welcome. We appreciate your interest in our organization. Use our official website for details on our members, contact information, and how to join, our beliefs, messages, and more. I'm not sure what this is. This just kind of hit the internet. The pyramid, the eye, the light. This talks about the Illuminati. There's people. The Illuminati. So you can join the Illuminati.
Sweet.
So that secret society, they got a website at www.illuminatiofficial.org.
All right. I'm going to take one for the team. I'll become an Illuminati.
Okay.
That way I can hang out at their meetings and kind of get the scuttlebutt, what's going on.
Well, I'm pretty spent. I'm about ready to...
Well, it is 11. We've taken it home.
Yeah. I'm kind of...
Time to put
I'm a little tired today.
Time to put this baby to bed, man. Yeah.
Next time, no Wednesday night meetups with people.
Yeah.
At the local learning hall. Anyway, sports this weekend. We'll have stuff on Monday.
Yep.
And
next week we got the NFL draft coming.
Oh, okay.
We'll have some more tech news. And of course
whatnot.
And the NBA, of course, as they keep going through the playoffs. So
yep,
we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll see how the Blazers do. That'll be the big news. See if the Blazers can get one in here in Portland tomorrow.
Right.
So
that's right.
All right, have a good weekend. Stay safe.
Right. Hey, and get up to the Facebook page, like the NuzBox Facebook. Yeah. Get on a hold of us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, and
subscribe on the iTunes.
Right, subscribe on iTunes as we spread our tentacles far and wide. Come and join us, and I'm going to throw the tagline out here: and live outside the box. So until Monday, arrivederci.
See you later.